What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Zoom. They do have their earnings coming up this week. I want to go over some expectations, what the data points are saying, and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Zoom sitting at $82.50 did go down 1.14% on Friday. So not all that bad. There was a lot of blood in the market, so it did hold up fairly well. Over the last 1 year, it is up 34.47%, and then over the last 6 months, up 36. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what Zoom does, but this is it. So feel free to pause the video and go through it. But their earnings is coming up the 24th after hours. $1.35 for the earnings per share and $1.19 billion for revenue. Those are the current estimates. Over the last 90 days, 24 positive, 3 negative revisions to the earnings per share. A little bit closer, deeper dive. So that earnings per share does work out to be 5.08% negative year-over-year growth. $1.35 the low, and it looks like a high of $1.35. Only one analyst is giving any estimates based on that, though. That $1.19 billion does work out to be 3.8% year-over-year growth, and similarly, only one analyst is giving any ratings, and so high and low are basically the same. So moving on from here, though, the implied move is 8.71%. So definitely a lot of volatility is anticipated, not similar to like 2022 levels, but of course, I think it's somewhat stabilized price action wise. And last several earnings, it's kind of a 50-50 on essentially if it's seen as a meet/beat. Although when it does beat, it means big deal. And so it typically goes up roughly around 10%, 10 to 15%. Whereas if it does miss, it usually goes down around 5%. So there's always a little bit more higher upside based on that. Historically speaking, over the last 11 earnings, they do miss roughly around 60% of the time. So once again, just take that into consideration. As far as what the options is saying, so the bears are anticipating for it to be roughly around that $90 range, which is fairly okay. Once again, going back over here, this implied move of 8.71% does work out to be $7 in either direction. The bears, though, on the flip side, they are anticipating for it to be roughly around that $75 to $79 range. So again, analyzing this, there's a little bit more upside anticipated. That's again just analyzing the options activity in conjunction with, let's say, the implied move overall. So again, something to keep in mind. But looking at shorts, I like to analyze what they do leading into an earnings, and lately they've been returning, which is rather odd because given the market and what's been coming out, there's been a lot more fear, so more justified reason for shorts to increase. But shorts are returning, insinuating again they do feel that Zoom could potentially move up higher from their earnings. So this is why I like to analyze a lot of different sources, but 3.09% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 8.07 million shares. As I've mentioned, this isn't a squeeze play, it's just for analysis purposes on an FYI kind of note. But one thing I do want to bring up is on Friday, though, shorts did return 54,000 shares. So kind of interesting. I don't think anyone ever sees Zoom as a crazy manipulated stock, like at all. But one thing I do want to bring to your attention, though, is it does show shares on loan 3.29 million. But yet, if you look over here, there's 8.07 million shares overall are being shorted. So definitely a clear sign of pretty significant manipulation, and also naked shorting. But like I said, even based on encumbering that, it's been doing rather well over the last 1 year. But right now with that 82 and change, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 79.29, 76.34, and 71.55 is going to be the support levels that you really want to watch for that to hold. Flip side, 84.07, 88.86, and then 91 is going to be the next strong target / resistance points. So let me know your viewpoint on all of that. Like I said, a lot of the data is signaling a little bit more upside with Zoom. So do you agree or not? And throw your price predictions in the comments below where you see things going post earnings. So let me know your general thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Hopefully everyone had an amazing weekend thus far. One final thing, pop over to my Discord. It is completely free. A lot of good people, a lot of good chat in that. So I'll put that in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.